My mom was an alcoholic. Well, out of 4 kids, I was the only one who became an alcoholic. That's the point. Not every child will respond to adverse childhood experiences the same. We all develop our own unique, dysfunctional solutions and coping skills to our adverse childhood experiences. Somebody who's been through all of these things, they may become just like me, the person who is attracted to narcissists, okay? So not everyone responds the same way, but these characteristics are all part of what creates a narcissist. And that's what this video is about, the creation, okay? Now there's one other aspect I want to talk on, or 2 more. Many of the comments were like, but they had a perfect childhood. There is an overwhelming, massive denial in society that almost everybody, and I talk to other therapists and coaches, and almost everybody thinks their childhood is perfect, or that people went through, many people experienced great, perfect childhoods. Well, the thing we as a society have to realize is, do you realize what that means? We are saying that there are people on this planet who had Jesus as a mother and father, because it is absolutely impossible to consider that parents never made a mistake and we didn't go through adverse childhood experiences. Think of your own life. In the last month, you've said and done mean things to your friends, coworkers, family members, spouse. We are all perfectly imperfect. We make mistakes. And we all do that as parents. Every single one of us, everyone, not a single person has ever gone through childhood without experiencing adverse childhood experiences. We have all experienced trauma. And until we as a society accept that as fact, it doesn't mean blame our parents or hate our parents. It's just truth. We have all experienced trauma in childhood. It's a byproduct of being a child. We're human. Every parent will traumatize and be perfectly imperfect as a parent and hurt their children. That is a fact we have to accept. Nobody escapes childhood without pain. Nobody. And that is the biggest thing we need to switch in society to overcome things like narcissism. And the final piece I want to touch on is genetics. A couple people commented, it can be genetic. Well, while genetics can be a factor, genetics do not determine narcissism, and here's why. There are only 3 genes that if a person has any one of these 3 genes, they will definitely get that illness or disease. And those 3 are Huntington's, cholera, beta thalassemia, and muscular dystrophy. Genes are not a determiner, okay? Genes are only activated when something triggers them. All of us are born with cancerous genes, all these different genes of illnesses and diseases. They only get turned on by the environment. And therefore, like somebody said, well, narcissism is genetic. Well, that there may be a gene in there, but if the parents don't parent in this fashion, that gene won't turn on. So that's critical to recognize. Any illness and disease other than those 3 are triggered by the environment. You may be born with that gene, but the environment turns it on, unless it's those 3. So that's a long video, but there was just so many, it was just exploding. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, today is like 6,000 views in half a day. And all of it was around this topic. So I wanted to give some more in-depth information so you can understand what creates a narcissist. And, the key factors, it's all childhood, it's all parenting. Our genes don't determine it. The environment, the parenting is what switches the gene on. And finally, none of us have been raised by Jesus. We have all been through pain and trauma in our childhood. We must admit that and do the work to overcome it if we want to reach our full potential. That we have to accept. Any person who thinks they didn't go through trauma in childhood has a false belief that they or somebody else was raised by Jesus, a perfect person who wasn't perfectly imperfect. Our parents don't mean to hurt us. They adore us, but they make mistakes that are hurtful. and that leaves all of us with wounds. And we will have a better society when we accept that fact. We don't blame our parents, but we accept it and we all do the work to heal it and overcome it. So I hope that helps you.